You ready to go?
We're recording.
Okay, and I'm not on mute, so good. Okay, good morning, everybody. May 28th. Very happy as usual and honored to be here with Dan Burke and to be with you and to chat with you a little bit about something. We're going to move it up a little bit, change it around a little bit today. But before we do, the slaughterhouse of failure is not in my destiny. I will persist until I succeed. That is a mantra. We must have that in our minds. I'd like to, before anything, just give a shout out to Dr. Mansi Shah and Kent Nelson for really professional and well-presented presentation on Wednesday evening. It's really, really important that we have this resource, and you should go and listen to it again if necessary, because there's some real little pearls of knowledge that are in there that are applicable to what we do and what we have. So it's a very useful resource, important resource, and thank you so much, Kent and Mansi, for that. I know there's a lot of work going into that to put it all together, so thank you so much for that. Today, we're going to do a little different. We've got somebody that's really new, started in January. It's a lady who's mother of two very small kids. Husband's a firefighter, and she happens to live very close to where I am. And she was recruited by somebody in the group of Dan Burke. And so we've asked her to recruit Dr. Dan Burke, medical doctor, and she's now going to give her little interpretation of how she's going to go about recruiting Dr. Burke. And I'm just going to listen. And this is open for obviously everybody to understand. This is a new person. She's not got a lot of experience, but this is what she's going to do, and this is how we can all learn from how to go about presenting a doctor with this, hoping to get a scanner, hoping to recruit, whatever. So Dan, good morning. If you want to say something before we bring Grace into the firing line.
Good morning, everybody. Yeah, Lawrence and I talked about how we're going to approach today throughout the week this week, and I'm excited to kind of change the format a little bit and give you guys a little bit of taste of Grace has been kind of training under Lawrence for the last couple of months, spending a lot of time with him making calls, and we feel that she's comfortable with the process. And so we want to kind of let you guys see the process from our standpoint, and then it'll give us the opportunity to critique and maybe give some pointers to everybody as well about how we approach this. So
Grace, good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. I just want to say I'm super shy, have no public speaking anything. So I told Lawrence to take out a huge piece of white paper so he can take lots of notes. All right, so let's get started. So hi, Dr. Burke.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
My name is Grace Martin. I'm a pharmacist and I focus my energy in preventive medicine. I work very closely with a lot of physicians around the nation to create awareness around a healthy lifestyle by utilizing antioxidant screening to help as an indicator of healthy behavior. Our company is actually 36 years old. We're 5A1 listed on the DMV. Forbes magazine actually rated us among the top 100 most trustworthy companies. We have the largest anti-aging research company in the US. We actually have over 80 full-time scientists working.
Grace, can I interrupt you on that? Sorry about that. Stop reading. Talk from your heart. You know all that stuff. I don't want to hear you read a thing.
I get nervous and I can't think.
No. Forget it. Throw that piece of paper away. You know all that stuff in your mind. Stop reading. You were vomiting on Dr. Burke. You didn't ask him who he is. You didn't ask him what he does. I mean,
Oh,
you didn't
hi,
talk
Dr.
about him. Start again. Relax. Stop reading.
Everybody on this call has been at this point at some point
Yes.
in this business. So that's all you have to remember. There's no wrong way of doing this.
No.
There's no defined right way of doing this. There's just your way of doing this.
Okay.
I don't know if I have a way yet.
You do. You do.
Go ahead.
Good morning, Dr. Burke. My name is Grace Martin. What is it that you do, your profession?
You know what he does. You should have researched that
I
before.
should have researched, you're right. But I want him to explain it to the group.
But no, you're going to drag it out of him. You're going to drag it out of him. You're going to say, go ahead, try again.
Hi, Dr. Burke. Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Grace Martin. I actually focus on preventive medicine, and I feel that what we do can help your practice and the patients, and also bring in revenue into your practice. How does that sound?
That sounds pretty good. Running low on time today. I only have about 10 minutes before I start seeing patients, but that all sounds good. But there's two things that when I'm looking at something new to add to my practice that I really look for. A, is it good for my patients? And B, is there a revenue opportunity involved with it? And what specific products do you have?
Well, what we have is we have a way to measure antioxidants in the patient to help them see where they're, I'm so nervous, I can't even think. Lawrence is
doing well, that's fine. Go ahead.
So what we have is a scanner that measures your antioxidant levels. And what it does is that guys, I'm sorry, I can't.
Your defense is
Grace, you're doing great, hon. Go ahead. I would take a deep breath and close your eyes. You don't even need to look at everybody on the screen. Just take a deep breath.
Pretend like we're not here.
Exactly. In and out. You got this. You're already doing this. You're doing this every day.
So you have a way to measure antioxidants.
We have a way to measure antioxidants, and we can show the patient in less than 30 seconds how their levels are and give them their own personal score.
How specifically does that technology work?
So it uses Raman spectroscopy, which is actually Nobel Prize winning technology. The device was developed by the University of Utah and funded by the NIH. It was actually the size of a MRI machine, and the company bought the rights to it and invested an extra $10 million. I don't even think $100 million into the device to bring it from the size of a large ping pong table to the size of a football. And this is actually the scanner right here.
Oh, that's interesting. How long has the technology been around?
I don't know.
You know, that's been around 17, 18 years.
17, 18 years. Our company is actually 36 years old.
Good. Pivot, that's important. How long has it been around? Our company's been around 36. So you're going from a position of strength. You're now saying something that you're confident about. And the technology, by the way, is about 17 years, and it's taken to come.
Yes, it was actually the machine was actually developed to measure the carotenoid levels in the macular of the eye. And when we saw that, we figured, well, we can measure the carotenoids in the skin and get the antioxidant levels I'm sure that could be said better, and measure the antioxidant levels in the skin.
Interesting. Is there any scientific validation for this technology, and also the measurement of antioxidants in the skin and how that correlates to overall health?
Well, we do have clinical studies that have been done with the machine. And also, if you go to PubMed, you can type in any disease, whether Alzheimer's, heart disease, diabetes, and with antioxidant, you could see how many papers have been published showing the importance of antioxidants to the help of the disease.
Good. Okay.
Fence of it.
Do you have papers that you can provide me in an email after we talk today? I'd like to take a look at some of those papers.
Definitely. I
And-
can send you a couple studies that have been done by Yale and Stanford, and you can go ahead and see that. And anything else you may need, I can also send you.
Perfect. Now, along with the scanner, do you guys provide any other type of products?
We have supplements that are guaranteed to work to increase the score from the patient, for the patient. I can show you. So we have this pamphlet that the patient would receive. And if you, for instance, were the patient, you could explain this to them in 3 minutes. It doesn't have to be you. It could be somebody in your office, like your front staff or anybody that you trust. And they can explain this to the patient and basically explain how, for instance, if you have an apple and you cut it in half and the side that's exposed to air, you would see decay. However, if you were to put lemon juice on the other side, you would see that it wouldn't show any decay, and that would be because lemon juice is vitamin C and it would be protected, so that's your antioxidant. And here, another example would be, here's the cell, and you have your free radicals that are attacking the cell.
Remember,
The goal is
remember, he's got 10 minutes.
I need to talk faster. The goal is to have antioxidants.
No.
Not talk faster. Quality, not quantity. Quality.
Yes.
The goal is to have antioxidants protecting the cell so that you can avoid the free radicals to attack the cell and cause mutation, because when it does, that's what causes a propensity to heart disease and cancer.
The doctor learned that in kindergarten.
Well, this is what what the employee is explaining to the patient.
That's now in the weeds. That's what you're going to be training him on. You're going to give him a synopsis of why he needs a device, why it's useful for him.
I don't have the
No, go ahead.
spreadsheet.
No, you don't need the spreadsheet. You're just telling him why he needs this device. Because his problem, remember, he's got a problem of time, money, and stress. So you're going to offer him something that is going to give him an additional tool to work with, which is going to give him additional income, which hopefully will reduce some of his stress. So you know what to do.
I know, it's just hard to,
Grace, I was in medical device sales for 25 years, and every training event that I went to, they would ask us to do role plays. And it's so awkward. I wasn't any good at it. I was horrible at it because it was just unnatural. So just pretend that nobody else is here. Just pretend that it's just you and me. I'm the physician. And explain to me why I need this device in my practice, how it's going to help my patients and how it's going to help my bottom line.
Your bottom line. So patients are always looking for how they can be healthier. And you always tell them to go and eat healthy, go to Whole Foods and buy all your greens, your fruits. But then they always give the excuse that they don't have the time, they don't have the money. So we have something that can help them be healthier, and we have something that can show them that it's working. So they would come to your office, they would be scanned, and chances are they're going to scan within the low range, because that is just where 80% of the Americans fall. And then you can recommend a supplement that you know is going to work and improve their score. They would come back every month for a free scan. And when they see that it has improved their score, that will create that, that's what I'm looking for. So that will create that confidence that it is working, and they will continue to take the supplement. And that's what's going to bring in the revenue to the practice. that commitment of them taking the supplement every month.
Okay, that's very interesting. So I have a way to make a baseline measurement, then recommend a product, and then also take additional measurements on a monthly basis to prove to the patient that the products are working.
And that their antioxidant levels are increasing. And when they see that their score is going up, they're also going to notice that they're feeling better, that knee pain that they had is getting better, because the more antioxidants you have also helps with inflammation. And that's one of the most common complaints that Americans have. So by them taking the supplements, seeing their score that is working, they are also going to start to feel better. And then you're going to build that confidence in them, and that they're going to trust you, and they're going to continue taking the supplements. Therefore, you're going to continue to see that revenue.
Okay, well, I have to start seeing patients, Grace. Thanks for stopping by today. I'm definitely interested in learning a little bit more about the technology. Is there any additional information that you could share with me via email or leave with me today?
I can leave you the brochure, and I can send you some emails.
Okay, fantastic. And then I'll take a look at those, and we can reconnect after I have some time to look over those materials. Thanks for stopping by today.
Thank you.
Okay, so Grace, when you mentioned this is where it is in America, 80% of the people, because that's what it is, you got to mention that it's because of the diet. It's a sad diet. 80% of the US population failed the test dismally because of the sad diet, standard American diet. 40% are in the orange and 40% are in the red. Smokers, diabetic, obese. And the other thing is that they don't necessarily feel better, by the way, not necessarily, but they will scan better, which is a visual. And that is what encourages them to be compliant, because they see their score going up and they get enthusiastic, and they're encouraged to come back every month after the first 45 days for a free scan. And by the way, doctor, you'll make $8 for the rescan, but it's free for the patient. That ensures compliance. Dan, you want to say anything?
No, I think she did it. You did an excellent job. I think the nerves got the best of you. You just need to refine that, how you're going to impart this information onto the physician a little bit more, refine it. Sometimes physicians are going to give you more time, sometimes they're going to give you less. So you have to have a short version and you have to have a longer version, right? Because you never know how much time you're going to get. You may get 5 minutes, you may get a half an hour. It just depends on how busy the physician is. So, I'd encourage everybody to look at how you're presenting this material and, come up with a short version and a long version. And then Lawrence, I think in the chat, what a lot of people would like to see, I received a couple of text messages as well, is maybe you be the rep and I'll be the physician for about 5 minutes, and we can hear my approach.
So I'll be the.
You be Grace, and I'll be the physician.
Oh, okay.
And we'll just do a 5 minute of how I would 5 or 10 minutes on how I would answer the questions.
Okay.
Or sorry. You be the physician. I'll be Grace. Sorry. We'll switch it around.
Okay.
So, sorry. So, good morning, Dr. Cassini. How are you today?
I'm just very well, thank you. I can't believe I'm so stressed with so much time. I've only got a few minutes. What can I do for you?
Yeah, I wanted to stop in and talk to you a little bit about, I know you have an integrative holistic practice. So I want to talk to you a little bit today about a device that we have that measures antioxidants, fruit and vegetable intake, that can help you get a baseline measurement on your patient's score, where they land on our assessment with the device, and then how you can improve their scores and help them become healthier. Is that something that would interest you in your practice for your patients?
I'm not even sure that is something that's within the scope of medicine. I mean, I'm a gynecologist.
So you're trained as a gynecologist?
Yeah. Why would fruits and vegetables have a difference?
Well, we have some studies validating this technology, and some studies that are Oh, I'm nervous. we have
Right.
we have some
Okay.
we have some studies validating the technology, and we also have some studies validating fruit and vegetable intake and increased antioxidants and helping mitigate breast cancer. Is that something that you see with your patients?
Well, the breast cancer is interesting. However, from what you're saying, I believe that if the higher intake of antioxidants, I'm just telling you this, the higher level of antioxidants, the quicker the healing of the wounds. So on a cesarean, if I do a cesarean on somebody, the patient, I'm just mentioning this to you, would heal quicker with a higher level of antioxidants. So there I see the vegetable intake might be interesting.
Yeah, not only that, we can help with energy levels. We have some specific products specific to females that are going through menopause, premenopause, postmenopause, that might be of interest to you as well. But basically, this device is measuring fruit and vegetable intake through measuring carotenoid antioxidants in the skin. The device was developed at the University of Utah with a grant from the National Institute of Health to measure carotenoids in the macula for disease risk assessment for macular degeneration. We saw that technology and we're excited about it, and learned that we could also measure that in the skin. So essentially, it's a 30-second test that a patient puts their hand on the device. The device is about the size of a toaster, and it works on a technology called Raman spectroscopy. And in 30 seconds, they can have their overall antioxidant levels read.
Is this reimbursable?
No, it is not. That's the best thing about this is it's a cash-based model that's going to drive revenue to your practice. You don't have to wait 60 or 90 days to get your reimbursement. Reimbursements aren't going to go down. You can set the fee for what you want to charge each individual patient. And then we have nutraceuticals, pharmaceutical grade nutraceuticals that you can also recommend to these patients that score low to help improve their score, help improve their energy levels, their healing, all of those different things. And in addition to that, we have some epigenetic products that are going to help with anti-aging. We have a technology called Age Lock we're able to reset 92% of 1,000 genes responsible for aging back to a more youthful expression. I'm sure, with your patient population, mostly females, you have a lot of patients that are interested in anti-aging as well.
On that part, of course, yes. On this anti-aging part, what sort of studies have you got on that?
So we have some products. All of our products are anti-aging because they contain high levels of antioxidants, as well as vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients. But we also have some studies on our Age Lock technology, on our Age Lock Youth. We have a mouse study that showed that mice taking utilizing this technology had increased energy levels, increased libido, and some other positive qualities as well.
So, and this has been around for some time. How old is the company? What is it?
So the technology is based on a technology that was discovered back in the 1920s by C.V. Raman. He won the Nobel Prize for that technology in the 1930s. And then this technology has been used, Raman spectroscopy has been used on the Hubble Space Telescope. It's on the Mars rover that's actually was just deployed. And I just read an article in a magazine that the new iWatch next year is going to come out with a biophotonic technology as well, where they're going to be able to read blood alcohol content and blood glucose levels. So it's a technology that's been around for some time. We're now utilizing it to measure fruit and vegetable intake in patients. We have physicians all over the country, all over the world that have utilized this technology, implemented into their practice. The first device was developed, as I mentioned, with a grant from the National Institute of Health at the University of Utah to measure carotenoids in the macula. We saw the technology and developed that further. So the technology has been around for about 20 years in different iterations of the device. We now have it in a more commercially viable size. It's about the size of a toaster, as I mentioned. It's easily implemented into a practice, doesn't take up a lot of space, and it's cost effective.
So how expensive is the device and how much do I charge? I mean, how do I make money on that? There's no reimbursement, so how do I do?
No, there's no reimbursement, so it's all cash pay for the patient. You set the fee for what you'd like to charge for the scan. We generally recommend $20, but that depends on your geographic location. Obviously in cities, you may be able to get a little bit more for the test, and then you make a residual on any nutraceuticals that you recommend to your patients and put on a subscription. What I like about this program is that you don't need to carry nutraceuticals in your practice. We recommend and encourage you to put the patients on subscriptions so that it's shipped directly to the patient on a monthly basis. So it makes it convenient for you, convenient for the staff, and most importantly, convenient for the patient, that they're going to receive them at their home. They don't need to come in to get their nutraceuticals. The scanner is actually free. You need to first purchase a supplement package, a healthcare professional kit that contains about $1,500 in supplements that you're going to then resell to your patient. So I want to make it perfectly clear that that's recoverable investment. It's going to involve 300 scan credits that you're going to charge, let's say $20 per scan credit or per scan. So you're going to make $6,000 in revenue. And then it contains a $300 product credit. So that's all in, that's a $2,450 healthcare professional package of product and scan credits that you're going to recover that investment. Then we have a system in place where we provide you with patient brochures and training and education for your staff. That's an additional $950. So all in, you're at about $3,450. $2,450 of that is recoverable investment. And then you essentially lease the scanner on a month-to-month basis for $125 a month, which covers loss, theft, damage. And if we come out with a new device, you can get upgraded to the new device.
How long does the training take? Who's going to do it? I don't have time to do that.
So we're going to train your staff. What we'd like to do is train the staff to implement this into your practice. They can have the initial conversations with the patient and do the scan. The only thing that we're asking that you do is make the recommendation to the patient and explain the importance of antioxidant levels for overall health. It should take you about 30 seconds. So when you're seeing the patient, let's say you're seeing the patient for, post or pre-C-section, or, whatever you're going to see them for, you're going to talk to them a little bit about what they came in to see you about. And then at the end, you're going to mention that you saw that they were scanned, that their score was low, and that you're going to recommend that they try a product, do a 60 or 90-day product experience on one of the products that you recommend based on what their budget is for the nutraceuticals.
Any side effects?
No, there shouldn't be any side effects. And you as a physician are going to need to make that determination whether there's any contraindications based on what other medications they're on. But they're all natural products, so you shouldn't really see any side effects. The only side effect you'll see is improved health.
All right. Well, thank you. I'll ask my office manager to take it up and send some information, and I'll have a look and see what we can do from that, and see if there's any interest. We'll follow up.
Okay. Thank you very much. I look forward to seeing the information, and we'll follow up after I have a chance to take a look at it.
But I look forward to seeing some information. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So basically what we're trying to do is in as little time as possible, say relevant highlights of what we want to say. I think one of the things that we need to do, though, is also emphasize certain things that are very, very relevant. So, for example, we're talking about any particular aspect of it that you want to really emphasize, then highlight that tone or slow down with the tonality of the voice. That's what I'm trying to say, because otherwise it's very going in like this. I'm visual, so if I hear something, if it's going to be just like flowing until I hear something that's going to catch my attention. I'm just critiquing everybody, so you hopefully will critique me too big time. So anyway, Dan, do you want to add anything to that?
No, I don't think so. I mean, does anybody have any questions, comments?
Michael, Kent, anybody?
I'll comment on that. I mean, the goal today is to just show everyone where we all once were, including myself. Stumbling over our own words and trying to figure out, through repetition, we develop reactions. And this is used in the military for self-defense and things, that if you repeat the same thing, it just happens. Well, it's no different with a conversation. And practicing, when I first started, there was a Tim Sales video, audio I listened to about, and he was in network marketing, and he said he put a pillow on a chair and he would talk to that pillow as if it was the prospect, in our case, the doctor. And through this repetition, we become more comfortable. Something else that makes us become more comfortable is being uncomfortable, which Grace was clearly today. And I've been there before. Everyone on this call has been there. When you're uncomfortable, what do you want to do? Get comfortable again, right? So that's why we do the repetition, and we need to be stumbled up in formats like this so that we can regroup and continue this flow of conversation. And it's about establishing a relationship with this doctor or whoever you're speaking with. And I think the way to do that is in the beginning, make a comment about their surroundings, what they're wearing, something. Just break the ice that this isn't a sales pitch. This isn't just science. I want to explain something to you. And we're going to start with just, an icebreaker to develop that personal relationship. And Lawrence, you've taught me everything I know about this. And it just takes some time. It takes some time and practice. So that's my 2 cents worth.
I think personalize a little bit. Yeah, that's very valid. You're right.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
How do you guys close this? This is first meeting. You want to close it, and what's your objective for where you want to go with this?
I'm not trying to close them on the first meeting. That comes to me across as being.
I don't mean close the deal. I mean close the meeting so that you have that next step lined up.
Sure. Well, it depends on where the conversation goes, but I want to get some type of commitment from them. Maybe it is, here's the scanner agreement. But the other types of commitment are, I'm going to send you some information that you requested, and can we follow up on Monday or Tuesday, which works better for you? So I'm not closing the door saying I'm going to call you on Monday, and then they say, well, no, I can't do that. Okay, give them an option of when, but some type of commitment to reconnect and continue the conversation.
If you ask them for a time, if you say, look, okay, thank you for this. Like Michael just said, can we circle back on Monday or Tuesday morning or afternoon? Can you tell me? Then when they say, all right, Tuesday afternoon, they're making the appointment. They are now committing. So
it's not a yes or no answer either.
No, it's just a follow-up to see how interested they are. Very often, there's a whole sequence of this, but that's fine. It's to say, when can we talk, and give them an option.
Yeah, I think sometimes if you try to close them on the first or second call or touch point, it closes them down. They shut down because they feel like you're just trying to sell them something. So it's a process. You need to, develop your own tempo based on how the prospect is acting, right? You may run into somebody who says, I want the scanner agreement now. This sounds great. I love everything about it. How do I sign up? But more often than not, that's not what you're going to get. You're going to have to get 4, 5, 6, 7 touch points with this person. But every touch point you have, you always want to have a commitment for next steps.
Correct.
Right? Every single time you're having them make the commitment to next steps, and that's how you're going to move forward. And as far as Grace goes, I was having this conversation with Lawrence yesterday. At some point we need to take the training wheels off. We all had training wheels at some point on in this business, and we have mentors, and they're going to help us initially, and they're going to help us throughout our time with the company. But at some point, the training wheels need to come off, and you need to develop your own style, your own tempo, all of those different things that are going to make you successful. In the medical device space, that entailed, being in the operating room. So, I would always have a conversation with the physician, and I'd say, hey, look, so-and-so has been with me for 4 months. I feel like they're trained well. I'm going to stick them in the operating room with you today all day. I'm going to stand outside in the hallway. If for some reason you need me, to ask them to come get me. And that's how I take the training wheels off, because until you're in that situation, you're not going to get that comfort level, right? Of being able to present the material, or when asked for information, being able to pull that out of your brain, because you need to be in those kind of high stress situations initially that are going to make you cognizant of how you go about dealing with that stress level. So, this today was a little bit about taking the training wheels off for Grace, and I think she did a great job. I think it was just a lot of nerves, and as I mentioned, it's really weird doing those role playing because it's just not natural. And I was never really good at them when I was in medical device sales. As a matter of fact, every time they'd say they were doing a role play, I'd leave the room. I'd be like, oh, I got to go to the bathroom. And I'd disappear for an hour just because I didn't want to do the role play because I wasn't good at it. So I know what you're going through, Grace. I think you did a fantastic job under pressure with very little time to prepare.
I agree. Good, really good job, Grace. But I also want to say, if we look at this as the only opportunity we got in our lives, we're going to fumble. But just bear in mind, psychologically, in the back of your mind, that even if you screw up, so what?
Yeah.
Many hundreds of thousands more opportunities. Don't worry.
Hey.
Don't worry about it.
Lawrence, I don't know if you remember me calling you years ago. I felt really good. I just had, ready to go out on my own. And I went into a clinic here, a cancer specialty clinic in Naples. And I spoke with the gatekeeper at the front desk. And I said, yeah, I'd like to speak with one of the physicians. And she said, okay, fantastic. How about Tuesday, 12 o'clock, lunch? And I said, that's great. She said, there's 25 of us. I said, I'm thinking to myself, wow, I'm going to present to 25 people. This is wonderful. She said, okay, I've got you down here. And as I'm walking out the door, she says, oh, and there's no flatbread. And I thought, I don't care. I don't eat flatbread. And I called Lawrence. Lawrence, this is great. I'm going to be presenting to 25 people. He said, tell me what happened. And I explained. He said, you realize you're buying lunch for 25 people? Call them right now. Cancel. We do not do lunches. So yeah, there's a certain naivety when I got started, and it took me a while. Grace, I was exactly in your position. Exactly. We've all got
strengths and we've all got weaknesses. Grace, your strengths is that you're charming, you have an easy way about you, you're calm, you're collected. Use that to your advantage, right? Most doctors are high stress. It's a high stress environment. I used to use that to my advantage in the operating room because I was the calmest one in the operating room. When things went bad, everybody else is screaming and yelling. I'm calm. Hey, what do we need to do to make this right? Make it the best possible outcome for the patient. And you have that way about you. You're a very calm person. I can tell. We've never met personally, but use that calmness to your advantage, right? Talk slow. Make sure you're getting your point across. That's going to give you more time to think if you're talking slow. Practice that presentation over and over and over. You had a few bobbles in there. Think about what those bobbles were, and make sure you know that information the next time and improve upon it. It's about making that presentation better every time. When I first started, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I mean, even though I'd done sales for 25 years, I was a mess because I didn't know anything about nutrition, and I didn't know anything about the company, and I didn't know anything about the device. And that's a mistake a lot of reps make when they first get involved in this. They're so excited about it. They're like, I want to go out and talk to everybody about it, but they don't know what to talk to them about. And on a daily basis, I talk to reps and they're like, I'm definitely interested in this. I just want to go out and talk to a few of my physicians about it. And I'm like, well, what are you going to tell them? I'm going to encourage you to not do that. I'm going to encourage you to create some excitement, tell them about a device and an opportunity to generate revenue, and then get them to commit to getting on a call with me or Michael or Lawrence. Right? So when you're getting started, use your upline to your advantage. Use your strengths, build on your weaknesses, and you're going to go far.
And, yeah. And you don't have to tell everything. You don't have to go, through the A to Z. Just pick out a few points that you can understand that may be of interest to that particular audience, and hone in on those. You don't have to, go through the whole history of what company. Just a few things with enthusiasm and as Dan just said, You did a phenomenal job. You're calm, you're organized, you've got all your folders there. When they say, what's this? You can pick out the paper. You're fabulously organized with that.
Most importantly, answer their question and get out, right?
Yeah.
If they ask you, how the device was developed, answer that question and get out, right? Get to the next question. Don't keep, spitting out information that they don't necessarily want to hear about.
Correct.
Right? You give them their exact answer and you get out and you go to the next question, right? That's how you're going to give them the answers. That's how you're going to move this thing forward, because you're not getting stuck in the weeds, and just stay focused.
Good. Thank you.
Right.
Thank
Any
you
other
so
questions,
much,
comments?
Grace, for volunteering.
Yeah, thank you, Grace. That's a very difficult thing to do, but you did fantastic for your first time doing it. It's even harder in a room full of people. Makes you even more nervous. So
Great
you
job.
did great.
Thank you.
Grace, you learned the most on this call. You did excellent, and I'm very proud of how really strong you are. You did good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Dan. Anybody got any comment then? Otherwise, then, because I see we're over time as well. So if anybody's got any comments or anything if you want to say. Otherwise, Dan, thank you so much. Michael, Grace, of course, Princess Grace.
Everybody have a wonderful holiday.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Sure.
Thank you.
Have a great
nice
weekend.
Listen,
Thank you all.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Jim, I'll call you in a couple minutes.
Okay, thanks, Dan.
Yep.
Bye-bye. Thank you.